Previously on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Oh no! Well, it's a good thing there's no customers here, or else the illusion would be broken. I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tuspel's family, they say. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals. Oh, it's Madame Tussles, or whatever, Madame Brussels Sprouts. Alright, let's get back to it. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, everybody. Converse, did we do this yet? No, we didn't. I guess we're going to talk about the waxworks in this wax museum with this girl who looks like Giselle Brett that might have cut her hair and ran away before she decided to run away, and maybe she's just in disguise or something, but anyway. Before I get started on this, just a couple of things. No, you know what? Screw that. Let's just keep going. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Brussels Sprouts? I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know. You see? You know, gosh, so been doing this, keeping it in the family here, got a nice old business going. I mean, I'd like to run a business like this. It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution, as she did. As you do. Though that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing leftness. Yeah, no, not going there. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. But gosh, in fact, they look more alive than Hurley. Oh, you just never miss up an opportunity, do you? Miss up an opportunity? What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to the extraordinary lifelikeliness. Well, can you just use your imagination a little bit? I don't know, like, you have pictures of them in the newspaper. Good lord, that sounds terrifying. All walks of life. How do you get their bodies? You get permission to do that, jeez. All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trademark excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. That's pretty extraordinary, I tell you. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see. Ugh. Like the public have wished for something less horrifying. Well, because then it would be Pleasantville, you know? Anybody ever see that movie? Good lord. Do not fear. Sorry. This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I think that's how you say that word. I do hope you'll explore. Like macabre, that's almost as bad as banal. Never mind the fact that only movie critics ever use those words. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, lawyers, something for every taste, I hope. It was Irish Spring who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it. Yeah, well, she got... You know, it's because it's where Hurley was, you know? Hugo Ray's. Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things. Well, it's like all or nothing, you know? It's either we came here or we didn't. I'm glad we did, though. It's cozy. What's the situation with that? Oh, my temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal. Are any of these people, like, actually alive in here, I wonder? Like, because he is, and I know that is a job. I talked about that in the last video, never mind. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal. Oh, what sort of proposal? My dear madame, what the sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world's famous great detective. Yeah, but the cases have already been solved, right? Oh, words to that effect? Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Holmes is widely known in London as a talented detective. Well, he's pretty good. It's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it. Yeah, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms. Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. Someone. No names here. For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. That's disgusting. Or words to that effect. Mr. Holmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch. The sales bitch. Well, regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. Aw. So people, maybe the public doesn't want to see this stuff after all. Maybe that's why. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing, though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
He's probably trying to check something out in here, like something's going on. I have a 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by in the morning. By in the morning. Yep, I totally read that wrong, and I'm not going to correct it.
Or words to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Well, I never see anybody else in there. I don't know. Something afoot. Something an arm. Because there is an arm back there. I wonder, could I ask you something?
Bien sûr.
That was bad, I'm sure. I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
This is not the Season 5 finale of Lost, I'll have you know. Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, so I'll take that as a yes. Well, it was just a guess. Oh, he's gone. Your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little... Oh, he disappeared. Whoa, 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 who is this? A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. Trade? Oh, it's just you. Okay. Good, I don't know if I could have taken another person in here. There you are!
Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
Sure, actually. My dear Madam Trustfell, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Yeah?
Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why ever not?
She started as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective, whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. 50 shillings to call her out on what you just did? Whatever it is, because, well, who knows? Though please be aware that I insist upon payment in advance. No checks. Wait, that's probably all. They didn't even have checks back then, did they?
Very well.
Did they even have banks back then? I don't know.
Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Oh, so we're actually doing this, then. Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain?
I told you before, that's DLC, you nincompoop. You should be paying me! You should be kissing my ass! That's a Tuskville special exhibit. There is an extra charge to see it.
I don't know if it's so much DLC as more like microtransactions, really. The special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer, then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder?
Oh, absolutely none. There's nothing amiss behind here.
Nothing amiss, madame. This song, like, I never really noticed it before, but one day I left the game playing and just left that song playing, and the longer it went on, the more I fell in love with it. This song is so freaking good. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain?
Oh, that's called, that's the sales pitch. That's the YouTube thumbnail. That's how we draw them in, you know?
I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond, before the situation worsens. What's gonna happen? Nobody's here.
Yes, very well.
You were the one that said don't bring the police in, so you're like, maybe we need to.
I will draw back the curtains, but only a soup cone.
Just a little. No, those curtains are going all the way. Okay, seriously. Oh, that's more than just a little bit. Number 139. I must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tutspell special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however? Oh, dude, wait a minute. I think that's one of the jurors, right? From, like, one of the cases in the first game? Is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor? He wasn't in case 5. He was in one of the earlier cases, I think. Well, then perhaps Mr. Holmes, that man on the floor, is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. Wait, what? You're saying that's a real dead body. As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. Well, yeah. So allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that here we go with the finger pointing, is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit.
Why would you say that?
And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. What, do we have like 2 murders here or something? She looks as pale as candle wax. Not to make a comparison. Maybe her name is Hallowax.
I don't understand.
Well, you're about to, baby. So, Madame Tussbells, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Puff, puff. Oh, here we go. The game is afoot. Oh, I love these. Oh my god, these are so funny. Waxworks Fate. Thought that was just going to say Waxworks Fat. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. It is a thing that is attached to your leg. You walk on it. That's not a foot, that's a leg. Or maybe... The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some 200 pounds. That is all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Like, why would you have it just sitting out like that? I don't know. Or just hanging out like that. I mean, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tussbells. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. A sign. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that public notice. What does it say? Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. Wait, really? Selling the waxwork figures? In short, he pointed and it cut away just as he got to the end of his point. You sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of 200 pounds. So that's why there's no killer in the scene. Okay. Now let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. He's always wrong about these, though, so I don't know, like, what we're going to change here yet. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock. But we didn't have tasers back then, so it must have been a different kind of shock. The cause of which is clearly known to you, judging by the way you're touching your neck. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds. What? You can't kill somebody with 200 pounds. There's 200 pounds of something, maybe, but it would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? Oh. He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, he went sideways. It also looks like he's floating in the air. The scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Okay. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not played with regret. Oh my god, the writing in these games is so good sometimes. Ugh. Man, who did they get to do this? They must have had so much fun. Oh, geez, we haven't even gotten to Topic 2 yet! Topic 2, y'all! The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly... Oh, but I can. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Huh? One of these is going to be a real person. Gee, that even looks like one right there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. I've never heard that word before in my life. Such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. That's an interesting way, you know, to, like, communicate without having to say anything or do anything really that would get anybody's attention. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman, currently investigating this museum. Oh, God, so they're already here. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. Clay. Okay, Clay, here's a gun.
What are you talking about?
The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's Policing Awards.
But...
Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him, with a particularly unsightly visage. Yeah, I saw this guy earlier. I thought he looked like, that guy in the cute couple. His name was like Rolly something. Yeah, they kept like kissing each other and it was so cute and everything, but this is definitely an older fellow, whoever he is.
I've been watching closely.
And he has not moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork.
Oh, but you...
Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madame. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe. What a price tag? Oh. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. Threepence, a tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks is riddled with cracks. Sorry, I read that pretty bad there. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. The sort of plucky behaviour that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madame?
I do not.
Okay. Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. Jeez. This is weird. Like, I don't know what we're gonna change this to. It's like, is it really another murder? I am so weirded out right now. I don't know, I guess we'll see. Once we get to look around a little bit and kind of find out what we might be missing here. I see I've stunned you all into silence. You've stunned me into silence. I ain't said nothing for the last 2 minutes here.
You have, Hurley, you have. But that's okay. Oh, and you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot.
Yeah. If I could just bring up 1 point, Mr. Holmes. Ah, the notorious Naruhodo, 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So, that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? So we're getting out of here? The killer policeman, Ottermole. Ottermole? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. Only last year. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether. The ether. This is not Minecraft.
And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself. A senior officer by the name of Ottermole.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be? The old man? Okay. Huh. Indeed, it is a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It actually sounds about right, I guess. I mean, I don't know, after inflation it'd be like $800, $1,000? I don't really know. It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective. Oh, okay. It's a lot. Yeah, alright. So maybe more like 5,000 or 6,000?
Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down.
That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous. I wonder if she has something in there.
Oh, the smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Holmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright. I need to prove your, stepdaddy wrong here, your uncle, to make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's Great Deductions.
Of course it's alright, I do this all the time, trust me. We'll soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we?
Before Madame Chasbells vents her anger.
He does not even know how much trouble he's in. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. It's funny how he, like, the most hilarious part is he doesn't mind at all. You know, that I'm correcting all his stuff. It's like most people, like, you correct their grammar and they go apeshit. This guy, you're correcting its whole case. And he's just like, hell yeah, dude, bring it on. So, Madame Chasbells, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Oh, man. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Holmes it, Mr. Hold. So what question are we asking here? Like, where is the killer? To begin with, we must ask ourselves, what exactly is afoot here in this museum? The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. Like, I don't buy this at all. I mean, like, surely she would have put it away or something, I don't know. But I don't think that's really the point here, though. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Of course, how else were they supposed to show that she had just gotten a bunch of money, so yeah. And not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, that's Tussbells at the sign, yeah. So it's not the sign, then, that she was looking at. Public notice. She definitely looked in this direction, it's true. But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for 200 pounds. Oh. She must pull her heart and soul. Sorry, I was talking like you for a minute. Into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything. For that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. You know, if you had the capability to make stuff like that, you know, and you could do it for a living, like, totally. I wonder if the 200 pounds could have some other significance. Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it. Oh, alright. Turn the camera, turn the camera. We got the public notice, we got... We examine the public notice just to see, like, what it says. Waxwork for sale. Would anyone really buy models of mass murderers? I think I'd rather have 200 pounds in my pocket. Exactly. You could buy one of those brand new types of steam carriage. That's what I'd spend it on if I had it, no question. Maybe one of those self-driving ones, with the horses, you know? I would buy all the herbs in the world. There must be another explanation for the money. We need to keep looking. Right, so it's definitely not that portly man. Oh, let's go ahead and examine this too. Seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all. Not just alive, just not alive and kicking. Oh. And he's not a waxwork or a model of a mass murderer. I'm not sure I'd pay 200 pounds for him. I don't think the man's up for sale. Oh, I keep forgetting who's talking here. Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. All the museum visitors could easily trip. I don't think the man was put there on purpose, either. That's true. Maybe she didn't even know he was there. There's this, too. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What does that say? What does that note do? Pinned on the wall there? Oh, yeah, let's see. Dear Madame Tussbells, we've taken the prisoner from... Whoa! The price for his safe return is 200 pounds. Oh, is she getting the money together to buy him back? Have the money ready by noon on 23rd of October. What? This is, it's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped. Yes, it's a ransom note. Exactly. That's a pretty big-ass ransom. Well, there you go. That must be what she was looking at then. So let's, do it. Take that! Break! Ah, here we go. Spin and point. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that ransom note. That makes so much more sense. Quite so. And we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness abducting a waxwork. Are we sure it was a waxwork they abducted? I don't know if they would refer to it as a prisoner. I mean, I guess they would. 200 pounds is no small ransom feat, yet you clearly intend to pay it. That's why the museum's in trouble, then. The model in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have. In summary, then, the 200 pounds you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Huh. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock. Yeah, we saw that, the cause of which is clearly known to you. I don't see any blood or anything, so... Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the truth. Oh, yeah, so it definitely wasn't that. So if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does... Oh, maybe it was just a waxwork figure that was taken. Where does that leave us in terms of who this man is? We could just ask him when he comes around. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris. Yes, you're right. Hurley's tried so hard, we mustn't let him down. Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tussbell's trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Wait, what? Huh? Hang on a second. See, is that her hand? That's not her hand. That's like a left hand, isn't it? Or a right hand? Well, actually, maybe. Wait, no, it's like turned the wrong way, though. Unless she's like a contortionist or something. That also looks like a man's hand. This is just Madame Tussbell's right hand, isn't it? Yeah, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well, look.
Yeah, don't say such creepy things, Iris, please. Yeah, that would be pretty creepy.
And it seems very stiff, too.
The only thing missing is a reference to that thumb trick that Maya talks about in whatever case that is.
In fact, it's really hard.
You mean it's made of wax? I don't know. Waxwork hand. Then that's what she's hiding. Huh. What is that? Oh, you were saying that's what she hit him with? Yeah, because that's what they were saying just a second ago. Yeah. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow.
How could you... I don't work out, I couldn't lift that thing.
The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It was nice of her to let us go around and look at her from behind, that's right. Most people, especially elevator operators, don't like when you look at their hips. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals, in fact, it's a left hand. Huh! And somewhat masculine as well. Oh, well, yeah, I did say that, too. In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model. Man, that's a cool angle there just now. Oh my god, jeez, that's... Ugh. How'd you have that all up there?
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
As a souvenir? Look at me. Man, if I, like... No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
Okay, well that's part one. You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And then you swung it and down he went. And the result... Okay, so he's probably not dead then. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, we have our conclusion. Which is... Yes, the killer in the special exhibit has been kidnapped. Oh? Oh, the killer, like the wax figure of the killer. Oh, my bad. I keep forgetting... Oh, I'm not singing it this time. Well, that's one solved. Now, here we go. Discovered already, huh? The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly...
Oh, but I do. Again, I'm saying the same thing. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. Right. According to Mr. Holmes, yellow neckerchief. I cannot get used to that word. It's a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes? It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard. Yet we know it. We must be very special.
That Mr. Holmes didn't hesitate to give away. Yeah, I guess. If he worked in the detective business, he might know that kind of thing.
Well, uncovering secrets is a true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tussbell's reaction to Mr. Holmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Oh, speaking of the police, I told her, there we go. Neckerchief, missing arm. Wait, missing arm. Oh. Why is he standing out here then? Is that... Wait a minute. Is that what we're supposed to be looking at? Huh. What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be. I wonder where that arm could possibly be. Right. This isn't a real person at all. Oh, okay.
His entire arm's been ripped off from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... That ties in with something else. I'm not quite sure what, but maybe we'll figure it out as we go. Shoulder stub. that angle was very... Like, it was just like the angle of that guy that looks like Lunatone. But you don't know until you see the back of him, and then it's like, oh, there's some huge thing. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need to only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks this up. Of that I can assure. Well, there's some out there. In other words, look at Ryunosuke. He's like, yes, there are, dude. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact defying all odds a waxwork model. It could be a one-armed man, though. Still could be a person. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Holmes.
He's become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally, what other explanation could there be? Oh wait, you know what? I'm getting confused again. I think they said the other guy was the killer, the old one. That otter mole or whatever. And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. Yes, we've been through this already. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious price tag. I think that's just the price tag of the scarf or something that he's wearing, probably. Yup. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry about that.
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price, though. Threepence isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Garadev's delightful lodgings, in fact. Making references to that now. So this is the special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for 200 pounds. But it's back, and she still has the money, so, like, what? Huh, okay.
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork. Whether or not, huh. Is he gonna be, like, twitching? Dude, his leg! Whoa! Would you wouldn't actually be doing that. I mean, I guess maybe he can't help it? The old man's tapping his foot like crazy. He must be nervous. He went to school and he was very nervous. He's not tapping his foot consciously then. So you mean...
It must be a twitch.
Never mind that. I'm not a streamer. I don't know what that is. The point is waxworks don't tap their feet. Or twitch.
Or twitch.
And look at his arm, too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? Huh. Wait. So am I presenting this then? Oh, that was just examining. Yeah, anyway, well, this is it. I mean, the obvious twitch. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious twitch. So both of those were, like, hidden because of the angle of the body. That's funny. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. We don't have that kind of technology yet. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. So is he also the killer? Slight shift in your choice of adjectives then. Man, he is so hunched over. I can't get over how hunched over he is. Like, look at this. No human being should be doing that. That's not healthy. Like, if you were just to erase the bottom of his body, you would think he was laying down and having a back massage or something. Seriously. He's gonna need one if he keeps standing like... Whoa! Okay, stop. That was a stupid laugh. And there you have it. Well, Madam Tussbells, can we get on with this case already? We're never gonna get to the trial at this rate.
It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place. He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep.
Is that all it is? But then what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence? It's just for the scarf thing. No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently to local market. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo? It's the yellow scarf, like the indicator. Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, Detective.
If there is criminal activity, I kinda don't think she's involved. So it would seem that we finally arrived at the truth. But what's... Wow. This doesn't seem related to the rest of the case at all. I don't know what we're doing with this. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. Huh. Well, shoot. Ah. And Scotland Yard are already investigating. Okay, so he was just coming to investigate then. That wasn't, neither of them were actually the killer. I don't know why I kept saying that. I think I got confused somewhere and thought that the waxwork model of the killer had been moved out there or something. I don't know. But the model's whereabouts remains a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Good night, everyone. I'll be here all week. Still a mystery. That's your conclusion. We don't know crap. And I'm saying that as the words deduction complete are on the screen. Balthus is online. Well, I hope whatever you play, you have fun, Balthus. All sorts of people visit my museum here, men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. Sorry, I'm sitting way too far from the mic here, and pull this up a little bit. I'll probably set it over there, but the cord's a little short. We'll figure that out later. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. I believe you. Anyway? Anyone. Anyway. Oh. Oh, you're very graceful. Well, she seems very happy now. Your great deduction was even more enchanting than I'd been led to believe. Ah, it's nothing. 'Twas a pleasure, madame. I'm gratified you enjoyed the spectacle. Because that's what it was, really. And as for your rough customer, I have no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display, if it was indeed genuinely abducted. Ah. That hesitancy, I don't know. Yes, tragically it was. Then I would ask you to recount us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. Yeah, this reminds me of a movie I've seen. I don't want to say what movie it is because it's kind of spoilery, but there's like a movie where a father actually makes a deal with the kidnappers where he gets half and they get half, and he lets them kidnap his daughter. And then, like, you know, it gets the police to give him the money for the ransom, and then somehow he's going to get half of it back. Anyway, it's a long story. But, like, is that what's going on here, maybe? I don't know. Very well, but after I've told you what I know, I must insist that you get the fuck out of here. Well, since you were so polite about it, I'll say I'll do that then. The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Oh, okay, fine. Thank you. Then converse we will. Stolen waxwork, wow. All that deduction just to get to the one topic of conversation, but this investigation has gone on pretty long here. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please. It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that a waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. You noticed right when you walked in the door because the curtains were open? Huh. I would have thought you kept those closed, but no, that's probably a minute detail that doesn't matter. It is the most prominent display, that's why the curtains were closed. And I found the ransom note in its place. The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then. So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose. Model of that otter guy. Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor. The Professor? Maybe all that hardware's for making coleslaw. Not a name I've heard of. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry? So this killer is kind of a big deal, whoever it is. Huh. The Professor case happened around the time I was born, didn't it? Oh. This is an old one, then. Sorry, I wasn't calling you old, Iris, but just wow. 9 years is a long time, though. 10 years? Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. You would have been, just hitting puberty by then, I guess. 10 years ago? Yes, at exactly the time. That Barack Van Zeeks graduated from university, in fact. Oh, that's the connection, then. Huh. Jeez. So the big event that changed Mr. Repo's life. Huh. As you've surmised, it was the Professor case. Who is this Professor asshole? Good lord, man. The Professor. The toilet.
The toilet.
It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in a terror a decade ago. In a terror. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
Well, good! I say so nonchalantly. And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Enjoy? Though, of course, he happens to be absent and present, on account of the abduction. Where they want to abduct him so they could torture him or something and pretend like it was really him. But I don't understand. How's all this related to Lord Van Zeeks? Or did he get... Well, no, was he a witness or something? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose. Some of Whitehall's finest. Huh.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Even you don't know about this? Wow. Those murdered by the Professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Members of the nobility, even royalty. Sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Members of the... What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zeeks is from a family with noble blood. Oh no, that's right. It was the 5th victim that led to the Professor's arrest. He messed with the wrong person, that's what happened. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of... Clint Van Zeeks. Clint Van Zeeks? What kind of stupid name is that? No. I don't believe it. Van Zeeks? Was it like his dad? I'm sure you can piece together, maybe his brother. I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of this older brother's murder, his brother, the young Brock pursued a career as a prosecutor, and he got him. And eventually became the Reaper we know today. Oh, so maybe that... Okay, so it wasn't Barack that prosecuted him and got him put to death. He was just... It was his brother's death that made him want to become a prosecutor. Not unlike Edgeworth, really. Yeah, I would have been way too similar for it to be his dad. I guess you get so used to people having daddy issues in these games. I had no idea Lord Van Zeeks had such a tragic past. Jeez, no wonder he's so grey. And great. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter, for the time being at least. Not until we get to case 4. Then I'll tell you some real shit. After all, I have work to do. Really? Oh my god. You can't go back to work now. This place is gonna shut down after all the shit that's going on in here.
I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. Just go to the little lady's room.
Yeah, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Must get out of here. My bladder is throbbing. It's throbbing!
Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involve you coming to visit me here. Huh? Oh, is he talking about Susato again? Wait, what? Holy, what? Oh, that's... Okay, he wasn't expecting Van Zeeks to visit him. Okay.
It's been too long. It really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barack.
Don't call me that. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in a prison of all places.
I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. Look at this hole on my head. It's ridiculous, man. I still can't believe it could happen.
Me neither.
My god. This is such a weird angle. It's so cool, though.
Tomorrow the court will decide.
Yes, yes, yes. I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. Let me lick my hand. Oh, no, that's his thumb. I thought that was his tongue. Jeez. Can you see it? Oh my god. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it.
He can't prove shit. I must warn you.
What? Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you?
Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah.
Well, take it easy on me, will you? Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories.
Wait, I'm going too high with it.
Brock, are you really...
What?
Are you really going through with this, man? Never mind.
Wait, no, don't never mind!
I know that you have my best interest at heart.
My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else. So weird to say as a prosecutor. Like, he's gonna lose on purpose, or what's going on here?
Thank you, Brock.
Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. Looks like he's looking at the camera when he says that. Oh, man. Oh, this guy. Wait, is this it? We're going to the trial? Oh, man. That did not feel like 49 minutes, let me tell you. What the heck? Oh, of course I did, like, get up and go do something for like 2 minutes. So it's more like 45 or 46 on the YouTube thing. Yeah, save. Never save in an active LP. But I do anyway because I'm crazy. Well, of course I save in a different slot, so yeah, I'm okay. Wow, it's really been that long since I recorded. So like these are all the days I recorded here, like March 17th, March 26th. I recorded a lot that day apparently. April 17th and now today, April 26th. And I guess we're gonna keep going. We can get a little bit into the trial, I think. Why not? Right now, yeah. You know, just get the introductions out of the way and everything. 23rd October, 8:52 a.m. The Old Bailey defendants. Oh yeah, and this is like the first time Ryunosuke's been in court for a while here. He might be a little rusty. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey. It must feel so weird. When I worked at Golden Pantry making biscuits, for a short time I got to be the manager of a different deli. And I worked in that deli for like 3 or 4 months. And going back to the original deli I worked at was so weird. It was just, man, the feeling was indescribable. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Good morning, Professor Harebrained. What sort of accent are you going to have today?
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I never felt anything like it. It's crushing me.
I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity. Gravity! Oh my god, that John Mayer song. It's just, ugh. Like, it's good, but it's just not my kind of song. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure?
No. I think it's probably all in the mind.
In the mind, my ass! Yeah, that's why you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruhodo? Because my friend sure ain't. I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public.
Yeah, I understand. I know what I have to do. And I'm gonna do it. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident. We're not gonna do that today, though. I mean, maybe.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail.
My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered with the most tiresome case here. Was that him? Oh no, it's... Okay. Mr. Reed, I didn't expect to see you here.
That was very mean, Runo, leaving me alone at home with Hurley. It took me at least an hour to wake him. Is it? Are you? Sherlock Holmes? What are you doing here?
Wait, have they, like, talked before? No. Indeed, sir, I am he, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I've heard all about your exploits even whilst living in Germany.
Okay, so I made that guess earlier that maybe Sherlock Holmes went to university with him, but based on what he's saying there, probably not right.
Ah, yes, Ron's magazine is on sale in Germany too. This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the Adventure of Silver Blaze was wonderful.
Oh yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall. Are you talking about snakes right now, reminding me of that other case? Which reminds me of something I was gonna say at the beginning of this video and I never got back to. Huh.
No, that was the Speckled Man.
Yeah, there you go. That one, yeah. The one where Asogi died. Because here's... fucking A. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's just get to a good stopping point here. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. He's not staying. He never does. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay.
Oh. Well, there's a big surprise.
I have urgent business at Madame Tuspel's. I have more standing to do. No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. Oh, so you actually got a real job. Wonderful. Trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, are you? More like it to the top of it. The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. It's a good thing it's winter, that shit would melt if it didn't. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention. Well, never mind then. I understand. Well, I don't need you here anyway. Wouldn't it be cool if we could get him, like, to help us, like, be our assistant on the stand? Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith. You know, what's... Never mind. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description.
Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley.
Yeah, she'll shoot you if you don't. Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say.
What are you talking about? Jeez, man.
Actually, I totally understand. Someone a little starstruck. I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Harebrain, because you're gonna need it. Holmes is looking at some random spot on the floor right now. So, oh, thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please. What? Okay, this is gonna be interesting, whatever this is. It's gonna whisper it in my ear like... As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation, such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition, is quite impossible. Well, I agree there. But the professor said the demonstration was a success! Shh, shh, we're whispering here! Alright, sorry. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was.
I've read Professor Bonniebrain's paper about it too, Renault, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically.
So he's completely barking up the wrong tree. But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeed? That's contradictory. It just looked like it did. Does the crossbow have something to do with it? It must, but... How would his body have gotten over there any other way? I can see the explosion must have rocketed it over there, but... Anyway, I'm still whispering even as I'm talking now. And it's that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, I've no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? It means what I said it meant. Now I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck. We can start talking normal now, my dear fellow.
See you later, Hurley.
So Iris is going to be my assistant? That'll be cool. She's always been very helpful in the past.
Well, it looks like you're on your own today.
Whoa, whoa, wait, what? I was just... What? I just... Well, I guess they don't allow girls or women in the courtroom, though, right? Or is that... Wait, no, this is Great Britain. Well, no, that was Japan where that was the thing. Ah. I always keep getting confused about where we are. How dumb am I?
Oh no, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do.
I see.
Hehe, it's going to be a big surprise for you. When you find out what it is.
Well, I really can't wait now. That sounds ominous. No, it sounds awesome. Counsel for the defense, dude, and the defendant, dude. Court's about to be in session, dude. Make your way into the courtroom at once, dude. We're on our way, dude. I did that last time. There it is. This is our stopping point. An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed. And a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That's the key to this case. Here we go. This is our stopping point. So, I have like this awful habit of assuming or thinking that somebody I see is somebody who's established to be dead. I did this in Investigations 2. The first time you see Dogen in Investigations 2, I remember saying, oh my god, that's Manfred von Karma with cancer! I've pulled some real humdingers, but that's gotta be the biggest one. And like, even just in the last case, when I thought that Shamspear was Selden, I don't know what it is with this obsession with me thinking that dead characters are still alive. But it is kind of a trope, and it happens in movies all the time, and it's always awesome when it does. Oh, breathe, boy. Anyway. So I've been kind of going over it in my head, like, what other possible people could it be? Because Ryunosuke did say that he knew him. Or, well, no, he didn't say that. He said, like, that he felt like he had encountered him before. So if it's just, like, an encounter that happened before, then I don't know. It's like, there's, like, it could be that detective guy, the guy that's always got the blood coming out of his mouth. I forget his name. It's like Hoso Naga or something like that. It could be that guy, although I imagine... It's just, the way they present this character makes me feel like the reveal is going to be really impactful. Like, it has to be somebody pretty big, pretty high on the totem pole, if you know what I'm saying. So, But yeah, but it's I almost now I want to, now that they've mentioned the speckled band case again, I kind of want to go back and see what exactly happened there. Like, we saw his body, and it seemed like we established that he was pretty much dead. Well, either way, I'm not feeling too, optimistic about that theory, but I honestly can't think of any other character that would be that impactful that it could be. There's a few other possibilities. Maybe somebody in the jury. Could be a juror that we knew before or something. But 9 times out of 10, a character that I think it could be is either too short, too fat, or too old to be that person. So I don't know. But that's just what's been on my mind. The other thing that I keep thinking now is that Strongheart said something like, you didn't know anything about Asogi's real mission, or his true mission. And that makes me wonder, like, what was he really doing? And is it possible he could have faked it? It's wishful thinking, but man, how cool would that be, though? That would be so freaking cool. Again, though, I'm not going to get my hopes up here, because I know better than to do that. Although, then again, these games have very rarely disappointed me in any way, shape, or form, so... But this one's just a little too much, maybe. Either way, I guess we'll see as time goes on if I'm right or not, but... So that was all I really wanted to say about it. I could have probably said that at the beginning, but oh well, here it is, the end. Here I am doing a monologue at the end again, I can't believe it. I should say I wanted to do more of these, and that one wasn't as good as my other one, though. But, anyway, yeah, okay. So next time on Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, we start the trial. See you guys later!